Hello everyone, welcome to my stream. I was actually going to try a different intro. So, here we go. Welcome, my fellow wolf packs, my fellow wolf members. Yeah, that didn't feel right. We're here today because I was going to stream yesterday, but I didn't because I was tired. I fell asleep. So we're here now. So, give me 1 second. Just trying to get some things up. So, we've got a few things what we're doing. As you guys can see, we're raising some pyromanes. We were going to do a boss fight for this today for the stream, but at that time we lost our male pyromane, so we couldn't breed anymore. So what I am doing right now is we are going to be raising all the pyromanes and going from there. Well, all the females. Once the females are done, then we'll be able to keep, we'll be breeding a lot more pyromanes for the boss fights, especially for one. Now, this is actually kind of funny, and some people actually said that these were good to use, and I didn't believe them until I did it. Until I did it with one of my pyromanes, and I didn't get hit. My pyromane barely got hit. I got the boss fight done we got the boss fight done really quick, and I was actually surprised. Now the boss fight we did the dragon. Now, using a pyromane in the dragon boss fight was actually pretty interesting. Pretty much somebody was saying, or posting on Facebook for a free boss fight. Me and my lady needed the boss fight. I needed it on my alternate account, and while she needed it on her main account. We got it done. Was really surprised that we brought in kind of pretty much fresh tame pyromanes, and there was only like 3 of us on pyromanes. The rest was on Rexes or Therathinos. None of the pyromanes got hurt by the flames, which was surprising. Not as surprising as I expected how fast it went down. Now, with the pyromanes, if you're gonna do them, bring in boss fights, you want their allow AI special attacks, because you had all of them doing special attacks and you are all doing the boss fight. Whoo, they will do so much damage to the bosses, it's not even funny. So right now, I have the exact list of what you need for certain boss fights. For the Megapithecus, the gorilla, all you need is a Uni, a Zaodon, and a few Rexes. You can do it with Pyromanes instead, But the Rexes will withstand a lot of the damage, as well as hit hard, as long as they have Ascendant saddles. With the Pyromanes, you just need to find one that actually has an Ascendant piece to it, which is not hard to find. You just need to find the highest level, tame it, and about 70% of the chance, 70% of it will have the Ascendant armor of it. Pretty much, it just says that its attack and health is super high. So you could do either one, but I would recommend doing the Rexes. Mostly because it'll be good to use some Rexes. In the Dragon boss fight, you would need Pyromanes. And maybe one Uni. You have all the Pyromanes attack the Dragon, while you're on the Uni, boosting up their power, and just watch and let them do their job. Now, for the Broodmother, everybody should know exactly what creature to use. If you guys don't, that's fine. The creatures that you should actually use, and technically it's between, if you're by yourself, you want to do this. A Uni and Megatheriums. Those are for the island, those are for the 3 island guardians. Now for the Overseer, at the start, you want to bring in a Giga or a Karcha. Right when you get to the entrance, before you enter through the door. Before that, pretty much unpod all your creatures. Now, the creatures for this, I recommend, and it's just because this is actually one of the smartest ideas to do, is one creature for boosting up the attack, and have it where it's doing it automatic when it's doing it. So, Uni, of course. Probably about 17 to 20 Rexes, because I think you can have up to 50 creatures. A Stego that you're going to ride to protect you from the drones, and probably maybe 10 Pyromanes with their AoE attacks off. You don't want those things to start hitting your Rexes. Now, if it's more than one, you have one person on the Uni. The other on a Gigaraptor that has all of those creatures bonded to it. Pretty much, the Uni and the Gigaraptor stays right beside each other. They stay out of the fight. But in the fight, for each boss fight, pretty much the same creatures. Do it that way, because they will be phenomenal. Unless you're in the Overseer, then I would say just bring in a Uni, or one person. Even if you're carrying them, have them be on a Stego, because they're just wanting to get the boss fight done and get it cleared. They will have to be on a Stego. Top that Stego that has an Ascendant saddle, has an amazing. You do not want to use it to attack unless you're having drones come after you. Those are the only things you need to worry about. But the person on the Stego, shotgun. Have a shotgun. No, no joke. Have a shotgun, no matter what. Anybody who goes in that boss fight has to have a shotgun or a fabricated sniper rifle. I go with a shotgun because it's better, but that's just me. Now, going on to the next map on Scorched Earth. This one's a little difficult. Before the boss fight starts, bring out your creatures, bring out the uni. Right when you put the artifact and know all the stuff that you need for it, use the uni to boost up their attack and all that, just before you guys teleport inside. Stay on the uni, and have your creatures to attack. Now, the creatures that are good, and this is only if you actually do the mutations correctly on all of them. There's actually 4 you can do. Wyverns. Wow. All 3 different type of wyverns. Unless this is later on in the future, you guys are seeing this when Valguero is out, or Ragnarok, and you guys have ice wyverns. You can also use an ice wyvern as well. Ice wyverns are fantastic in that boss fight. I've done it once. I loved it. Because they will slow down the creature, and they do so much damage. Now, that's 4 right there, but there was another creature that was introduced later on in Scorched Earth. Now, this creature is the Dreadmere. If you do the mutations right, putting health, stamina, and melee, you can actually do so much damage very quick. You might lose 1 or 2 of them, or maybe more, because they have no armor. Which wildcard? Come on, give them an armor just like the Pyromanes. Like seriously, they could definitely use it. Because they're a little squishy. They are pretty squishy. If you actually want to guarantee with the Dreadmeres, maybe have about 7 of them as Dreadmeres, the rest as Wyverns. Definitely with Wyverns with no AoE special attack activated, because they will do fantastic. Now, Aberration. Now, I've had a few people actually tell me that I'm supposed to go with nothing but rock drakes and the sleepy dinos. I cannot think of their name at this moment. Now, I say no to that. One of the creatures that you do need is a Basilisk. A Basilisk with very high melee, very high health. Don't worry about the stamina. Now, when you are fighting the boss, or when you're doing the boss fight, all you need to worry about, actually, the only thing, if you're doing it alone, Basilisk and the Pyromanes, you can also use the Sleepy Dinos. But Pyromanes will also do very good as well. But in that boss fight, mostly, if you're not by yourself, if you have other people, say you have two other people with you, one with the Sleepy Dinos, 2 of them, or 1 of them on the Basilisk, going around the map, destroying every single creature as much as it can. The other one maybe on a Reaper or another Basilisk to help out, deal with the orbs and deal with the whole thing. Right when the boss is done, because the other Basilisk or Reaper has to stay with the Sleepy Dinos or with Pyromanes. Or you can have it where the other person's on a Gigaraptor, has bonded with those creatures. Now, mind me, that is actually a really, really good idea to do. But if you do not have a Gigaraptor, that's fine. It happens. But Sleepy Dinos, maybe about, say, 7 Sleepy Dinos and 7 Pyromanes. Both of them going after the boss, while one person's on a Gigaraptor that has all of them bonded to it, and the other 2 on Basilisk, taking care of all the ads and all that, all the other extra stuff is happening. Right when Rockwell comes out, Basilisk shoots their poison at the boss while the other creatures attack, except for the person on the Gigaraptor. Do not attack. Now, I've seen this one guy actually do this, and it's freaking hilarious. You guys probably watched him as well. Roz Clark. He used the Dreadmere, and he just summoned it. Tons of penguins, and he took down the Desert Titan easily. But with the Desert Titan, I would say Lightning Wyverns or Fire Wyverns, if you're able to get them, or even a bunch of Dreadmeres before the transfers are open, because transfers should be open next month. I would say bring all your top stat Lightnings and just farm out the Desert Titan, because the Desert Titan, you can get a lot of stuff from it. And I mean so much that it would be very helpful to you. Trust me. Nice to know. I've done that boss fight multiple times on the old Ark, and I've gotten so much. But that boss fight is really good, especially for getting the tech sniper rifle engram unlocked. Once you have that unlocked, that's fantastic to have. But we're not just talking about the sniper rifle. We're not, for the boss fight, for that boss fight specifically, I would say you could do this. And this way, I will not recommend to actually do it. People do recommend to do it because it's actually one of the easiest ways. Is have a Quetzal or a Zephyr with a Giga or a Karcha on top of it. Get so close to it and have the Giga and Karcha start to attack it. But have it where they're trapped on the Zipper, where they cannot move. That's really impossible to do. And I mean very impossible to do because it's annoying to do it. Besides that, that is the one way you can actually do it. My music just stopped. What the heck? My headphones are disconnecting and reconnecting, which is annoying. Alright. What else? For the Ice Titan and the Forest Titan, you can have a bunch of Gigas or Karchas, a bunch of them, ready to attack. Definitely have a mech for each of them. Because one, you can use the mech to tame it, or you can use the mech to attack it. For taming it, it's a little harder, but they only last for 24 hours. But it's actually kind of cool. For actually taking it out, just stick with the basic, with the blaster and the sword. Do not go close, just use the blaster. That's all I'm going to recommend. Now, for the next, and I'm not doing the modded maps like Ragnarok, the Center, Valgaro, all that, except for maybe one, because it does have, actually two, because it has two new bosses that no other basic map that has come out. for the next map, and this map is the... How are you kidding me? Now this map is Genesis Part 1. For the underwater one, basils. Or in another case, once Gen 2 comes out, you can actually use something else. But I would recommend just using the basils alone, because X basils, they are tougher. They are so tough. But that's just for the water boss. The other creature, the other boss fight, facing the Master Controller, I would definitely say you would want these creatures and these creatures alone. And it's just because they do so much better. Now, one, you don't need Rexes or Unis or anything like that. You can use this. And since these are new creatures that came out for this one, I probably would recommend to use some of these, mostly because they can attack hard to a lot of stuff. Now, mind me, I'm just going to be saying this, that these will be awesome. But the creatures that you mostly want to use are Stegos and Ankies. And I believe there was an X Ankies to use in the boss fight, but I'm not 100% sure. You also want one person maybe on a Rex. But I would not recommend using a Rex. I would recommend using... Actually, no, because that would be actually worse. Never mind. Yeah, I would just recommend probably just using the Anki and Stegos. Now, the Stegos, what you're going to be riding, the Ankies are going to be attacking the ads. Because for the boss fight, you just destroy the ads with the Ankies and the Stego, and then you use a fabricated sniper, or no, not a fabricated sniper rifle, sorry, a tech rifle, and you start shooting at the Master Controller. Once he's down, that's it, you're good, awesome. Next boss fight. Now, this boss fight I have done. It is awesome. I recommend three types of creatures. Actually, 4 now, actually. One of the creatures that you want to bring in is definitely a uni to boost up your attack on your creatures. The other creature is our Reapers. Mostly because they can handle with certain things like the ads and all that. Have them deal with the ads. With the full-blown attack, I recommend these two. One of them is pretty new. Might be good, might not be. I'm not 100% sure because, one, I don't know if these things will be good in that area. Pyromanes. But these are definitely recommended to use, Shadowmanes. Shadowmanes in that Rockwell Part 2 boss fight is so much better. You can do so much damage to them so freaking fast. It's that. Besides that, those things are fantastic to use against that boss fight. With the Uni, sticks with the Pyromanes, while the Reaper and maybe the guy with the Unis having them followed will have them to attack certain ads. But definitely have a shotgun fabricator sniper rifle with you to shoot certain things. Now, with some of the mod boss fights that you are able to do that are different than the other maps. Let's start off with the very first one. Crystal Isles. Now, you can do this with the traditional, with the Uni and Rexes. And mind me, that would be fantastic to do. But if she stays up, that's going to be really bad. Now, the Crystal Isles has the Crystal Wyvern Queen. She's like the Dodo Wyvern, where she can use all the breaths. Fire, the water attack, and the leech breath. Scalding hydro. That's what it's called. She could do all three of those. Now, you can do with regular Rexes and a Uni, but I would recommend, if you be able to get them mutated enough, is have Blood Wyverns, Blood Wyverns. Their breath attacks won't do nothing to the boss. I'm just gonna say that. But you'll be able to have them to attack some of the smaller creatures that she summons, the baby wyverns. But with that boss fight, I would definitely recommend a Uni, maybe one or two, but that might actually make her not come down at all. So I would definitely recommend these creatures. Uni, maybe a Basilisk, because a Basilisk could do a lot of damage to it. And Basilisks do spawn on that map, and they are fantastic. Basilisks are so good. Besides the Basilisks, you also want some Rexes. Turn off the AoE on the Basilisk, because the Basilisk will kill anything with that breath attack. Besides, also doing with that fight, you also want to have shotgun, fabricator sniper rifle, and a lot of med brews. Oh my lord, English bad. Now, that boss fight you can actually get done pretty quick. Just watch out for her blood attack, because she will snipe your health as well. And she will snipe it really fast. That's what the med brews are for. Now, the other modded map that has a unique boss fight, Lost Island, the Diamond Pithecus. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it's called. You can actually do multiple things with this. You can have a Uni with Therathinos. Now, I would say that's maybe one of the best ideas to do. And also, since one other thing is new, and it will show up there. Probably two things: Pyromanes and Gigaraptors. Have the Gigaraptors bonded with the Therathinos and have them go after the boss. You could also do this and this is my idea to do. This is an idea that is a really good idea to have, mostly because it would be a fantastic move to do. Now, this move is having one person on a uni, one person on the Gigaraptor that is bonded to the creatures that are going to attack, 8 Therathinos, 8 Rexes. One of them that can take the hit, but can still deal the damage. The other ones can deal the damage much more. But when transfers happen, I would definitely say Shadowmanes and Uni. Mostly because they survive much more. I remember on the old Ark, I had Shadowmanes and a Uni. I went into a boss fight as a test, and this was on Alpha. I only lost 1 Shadowmane, and that was it. I defeated the boss very quick. Not even like 20 minutes. Another thing you could do is also use a Basilisk. You could have 2 people on a Basilisk while the freaking boss is up high. Have them shoot the poison breath attack at them. It'll do a lot of damage. So, for the basic attack, for the basic time, you want Uni. Maybe 8 Rexes and 8 Therathinos. And if you have other people, have them be on Basilisk so they can handle up above when the boss is out. Have them deal with it because they will do damage to it like crazy. When the boss is back down, have the Rexes and Therathinos attack. Now, this next boss fight, this one is very tricky and is a very pain in the rump one. Me and a couple of friends did it, as well as my old lady. We all did it, and we all died because I forgot this one attack it does. You guys might know this creature. You might know this boss fight. It's Fenrir. It's when you can actually get a Fenrir for yourself. And Fenrirs are actually awesome. Oh my lord, Fenrir is awesome. Now, getting all the boss fights, you gotta do other side bosses. For boss 1 is on the main area, where you have to fight. Was it one thing or 2 things? I think it was one thing you need to fight. Yes, it was one thing. It was a giant bee. You had to fight it. Now, I would recommend this. Have a Giga, or 2, or the Karchas. Either one, have 1 or 2 that have at least 200 melee to deal with it. Summon the thing, have them deal with it. You could also do Rexes, but you would actually maybe lose 1 or 2 Rexes. I would say Giga or Karchas because they deal the more damage and they don't die as quick. Next one will be in the snow biome, in Jotunheim. The bear. Do the same thing. And if you want to actually make sure that you will actually win and do much more damage to it, have a uni with them. Be on the uni and do the call. Now, the other one, because there's 2 other ones actually. Skull and Hati, Sun and Moon wolves, and these are all creatures are about North mythology, and I love that. I love that whole map because of that. Now, when you're fighting Skull and Hati, you could do either Shadowmanes, or, well, technically you could use Shadowmanes or Gigas or Karchas on all of them, but I would definitely recommend using Karchas or Gigas on all of them because they do more damage and a lot more faster. Now, when you get to the final boss, Fenrir, because you need Skull and Haughty and all them, their pieces, just to actually get to the boss, I think. I don't remember 100%, but I think that's how you're supposed to do it, what you're supposed to do. I would actually re-download the original Ark and actually go on that map, start off, and actually try to remember how to do it. But either way, the main thing, the main boss, because you also fight the Broodmother, the Megapithecus, and the dragon. The same order of creatures as the first creatures. Do that. Now, for fighting Fenrir, because you gotta have all 3 heads, plus all of the tribute stuff that is from the other 3 world bosses. Or technically 4 pieces of the world bosses. Just to fight him. And he's very tough. Now, with him, you don't want him to be looking at you. If he's looking at you, you are pretty much dead. So, once he's looking at you, you move to the side. You don't go straight for him. You move to the side. Have one person on a uni. Have another person on the Gigaraptor that is bonded to the other creatures. But if you're by yourself, just be on the uni and have a bunch of your creatures go after it. Now, the creatures I would recommend are 3 creatures. And these 3 creatures are amazing against this. And I mean so amazing that it's not even funny. You get some Aloes, because they are a little bit more tougher than regular Aloes. Aloes that has the bleed effect, which is amazing to have. Perfect. Or if you don't want to use the bleed effect, you can also use the Hydro boost on these 2 other creatures. Or Shadowmanes and Spinos. Not Stegos. Spinos or Shadowmanes you can actually use in this boss fight because there is some water nearby, and they will get a Hydro boost. It makes them move faster and hit harder. I still think that is so stupid broken, which is also good to have. Because without it, the Spino is weak. The Spino is so weak. But the Pyromane, with or without it, is so broken. Like, they are so good. Now, with my personal lineup that I did was with a Uni, 8 Shadowmanes, and the rest was Rexes. So I had 9 Rexes. Oh wait, no. I had 11 Rexes. The first time I did it by myself. It was fun. It was easy. It was good. It was done and over with very quick. But as always, you need to stay away from Fenrir. You do not want to be having him look right at you because his 2 attacks, one of them will kill you. The other one will, I think it's like freezes the creatures around it temporarily for like 10 seconds, I believe. Not 100% sure. But it was actually really easy to fight him. Really, really easy. The other creatures you can actually use, and I would actually probably recommend maybe not. Actually, no, I wouldn't recommend that. Never mind. But yeah, Pyromanes or Shadowmanes and Rexes plus the Uni does an amazing job to it. It just destroys it really, really quick. Now, with that, you can actually change it up once other maps come out. Like with Lost Island, with Fjordur, you can actually use Deinonychus as well. They can lash onto the side and give it a bleed effect. Definitely use the Deinonychus against the dragon. Deinonychus against that dragon is so freaking broken. It's down and out really quick. Unless Pyromanes are there, then I would definitely say use the Pyromanes. Pyromanes are ridiculous. They are so broken on that, it is not even funny. Besides that, I think that's about it. I think that's all the information about the boss fights. Now, doing all those boss fights, as other maps come out, they're going to be bringing out other creatures. Now, for Valgero, they're going to be having two bosses in that boss fight. I believe it is the Manticore and the Monkey. I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. I know the side quest. I know the side bosses in there in the Redwoods is the Broodmother. Now, that boss fight, you just get the flag. You don't get the head. You don't get the engrams when you fight that thing. Because one, it's actually not the actual Broodmother. It's a weaker version of it. But over there, I would recommend mostly hunting for Deinonychus, Rexes, as well as Glowpets and Wyverns. Mostly one Wyvern because it is so easy to hunt for these Wyverns on that map. It is not even funny. There's actually 3 maps that are so good to actually hunt for those 3 maps. Valgero, Lost Island, and Fjordur. Lost Island and Valgero are the best ones because they just have a canyon to themselves. Fjordur has a cave. There's not a lot of eggs there, but that you can actually get those easily there. But yeah, I'm excited for the next map coming out, and that's coming out in March. I'm excited. I cannot freaking wait, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys cannot wait. And that is Ragnarok. Oh, Ragnarok is so amazing. It's coming out in March. I don't know when in March. I know one of the creatures they are bringing out with it is a freaking Buffalon. Or not. Sorry, that's the Pokemon. It is a buffalo. It's a buffalo type creature. I'm excited to actually go on this game, on this map again. Go to the very first area that I started out. And that's Herbivore Island. I want to go to Herbivore Island because that was my base location for the first time. For the second time, we were in the desert. Third time, again in the desert, because no one likes building near the desert. I build right by the canyon. I build by one of the mountains in the desert. Fourth go, I changed it up. I went to the highlands, into an area where the Gigas do not go near. It was a cave. Someone's base auto-decayed, and I took it. That was about a week before Ark was announcing that, or Wildcard announced that Ark Survival Evolved was going to shut down their official servers. Which was a bit of a downer. A lot of people were not happy about that, but it did happen. I know I was one of them, because I loved the creatures that we had. Tried to get the creatures where we can actually keep them. Didn't know exactly how to do that. Besides all of that. Besides that. Ragnarok, I cannot wait for, but the map afterwards, I'm pretty sure that is coming out right after, and I'm kind of excited, but I'm also kind of nervous for this map to come out. And I believe it's Genesis Part 1, where you can get the spiders, where you can get Magmasaurs, where you can get the X creatures. What was the other creatures you can get? Oh, it was the giant turtles. What are they called? I don't remember what they're called, but it was the giant turtles that can produce rare flowers, some seeds, and some rare mushrooms. The rare flower part, that is so fantastic to have. The only problem is there's only maybe a handful of maps where you can actually have them to be breed on it. One of them is definitely on Genesis Part 1. The other one is on, I believe, Genesis Part 2. The other one is Lost Island. And the other one is Fjordur. The Fjordur one, in the area where you have to breed it, it is not, and I am saying this very, very carefully, it is not the safest area. There are Tusos, Magmasaurs, Alpha Tusos, and Alpha Magmasaurs all throughout that cave. It is not a good place to breed them. Definitely recommend to take them to Lost Island or Genesis Part 2 and breed them there. I don't even know if you can breed them on Genesis Part 2, actually. Now I'm thinking of it, I don't know if you can. Either way, those are the best locations to do it, because they have to be at very, 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 very deep water. The island, Ragnarok, all the other maps, they're not deep enough. They gotta be deeper. Besides that, ladies and gentlemen, I actually forgot something for one of the boss fights, and that was Aberration. Aberration, one of the other creatures you're supposed to have is glow pets. Featherlights, Shyhorns, Bulldogs, or Glowtails. Either one of those on your shoulder will protect you for certain types of creatures. It will also help you to defeat Reapers at that boss. because it will summon Reapers and you have to deal with them. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the information I have for the boss fights. I know I did title this Ark Survival Viking, mostly because I didn't know exactly what I was going to talk about until just like 10 seconds after I started doing the stream, and I was like, you know what, let's talk about the bosses. Let's talk about the upcoming bosses and the bosses that are out right now that we have to deal with. Oh, right. There's one boss I also forgot, on Extinction. I've already talked about all the Titans except for 2 of them. The King Titan and the Mecha King Titan. The King Titan, a bunch of Gigas and Karchas, and I mean a lot of them. So much that you can choke a horse with. I've actually seen people actually done nothing but raising, let me see, how many were they raising at the time? 48 Gigas and Karchas all at the same time on the old Ark. And this is when Maywings were out and they had nothing but the Maywing out with a bunch of food, feeding them. After they hit Juvie, they started eating from the troughs. I miss Maywings. That's the one thing I would definitely really miss. But that is what I am recommending for you guys to do, is have a bunch of Rexes, a bunch of Gigas, or not Rexes, a bunch of Gigas, a bunch of Karchas, with somebody in a mecha, into a mecha, like a big mecha, the mega mecha, where it takes 4 of them and turns them into one big one. With somebody in the mech running around doing it, and the other people on other creatures staying away from it, but having backup Karchas and Gigas in their inventory, so if they die, they could toss them out and have them go out. Now, this is, once it hits the mecha, it's pretty much, or the mega mecha, I would definitely say, or not the mega mecha, the mega, or the Mecha King Titan, once it hits that, because you gotta do the Gamma boss fight of the Titan, of the King Titan, then you'll be able to go to the next one, and then to the next one. Because you gotta do Gamma, Beta, and then Alpha. Once you get to that Alpha, definitely have more. Have a lot more Gigas and Karchas with you. I would say try to at least to have 100 with you. And I'm not joking. You might need 100 of them just to do it. Have 1 or 2 people in the mechs, in a big mechs. Have at least also have these, and I'm going to say that this is one of the best ideas to have either Desert Titan, or not Desert, yeah, Desert Titan and Ice Titan. Tame both of those and go for it. Those are the best choices for that final boss on Extinction. Alright, now I've covered all the bosses. Now, with hunting explorer notes and all that, definitely recommend somebody be on a wolf that can detect it. Another person on a Shadowmane or, well, Pyromanes, because no shadow mains are out yet. But when the shadow mains do come out, use them because they can take out a Giga very easily and a Karcha. But they cannot take out down a Titan at all. It's very hard for them to take down. But use a direwolf. I will definitely say a direwolf is so good to get these explorer notes that it is not even funny. Yes, I did get the phone done. But yeah, with all those boss fights done and talked about, the explorer notes, they're a lot more harder to get. Now, on the island, you do need to worry about one thing. One, you cannot bring in a direwolf into one of the maps, or one of the areas. And that's actually in an area right by where I'm at. It's called the Lava Cave. You do not want to bring any direwolves in there because they will just die. They just die. And I'm not joking, they will just up and die. Okay, so 6%. So yeah, I was correct. But yeah, direwolf, Karcha, power main, or shadow mains going through the map while the direwolf is running around sniffing everywhere trying to find where the explorer notes are. There are people who have done guides and actually tell you exactly where they're at. For the lava cave, yeah, no, not a good idea. And there's another cave that you do not want to bring it in because there will be something attacking you. That's why you got to have an extra partner with you. Mostly in this cave because this cave will be torture. And I mean, it is not good that this happens. It killed me a bunch of times. Killed my pyro main, which, as you can see, it says reborn. Leo reborn. It killed it. They killed it. It was so bad. It was not even funny. And it's mostly because the Provovius will jump out, stun you, and stun your creature. And then just start attacking. So definitely, I would recommend having them on aggressive or neutral. And definitely with the AoE attack activate. Because I would say this, definitely have that activated, because if they kill you by accident, it's fine. They will still kill the rest of the creatures a lot more quicker. And they can heal a lot more better. Because each flame they take in, they heal. Definitely bring in a Pyromane into those two caves. But in that one cave, in the ice cave, I would say, where is that location again? The location is 2729, right by around there. That cave is actually one of the dangerous caves to actually bring in. As you guys can see, I have died multiple times there. I've died 3 times there. Both times trying to get my stuff. Last time I pretty much just said, after I died the last time, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm bringing in a Megatherium. In that cave, have somebody on a dire wolf behind you with a Megatherium. Has to be top stats. Yeah. Wait, let. I have the artifacts. Artifacts for what? What are they doing? Oh, they're doing the Alpha Boss, the Alpha Dragon. Oh. Oh. I'm hoping the guy has Pyromance. Reaper, I hope you do. I know you didn't get it for me. I know that if you have some. Just, dear Lord. If he does not have a Pyromane or Therathenos, he would die. His whole thing will die. Thank you. I will try to have a great day. I do gotta go to work. I do gotta get ready soon. Which I kinda don't want to go to work. But I got to. Need the money. Alright. So I will be changing the title on this so people know exactly what's going to be talked about. I will be re-downloading Ark Survival Ascendant and actually bringing out, doing the mutation breeding, all that, just getting all the creatures done and all that, to get them ready to do the boss fights. And to show you guys exactly, and record it and edit it on the computer to show you guys exactly what you guys need to do. Now, I will say this. 2 of the boss fights you actually have to do to get them ready is you don't need tributes. You don't need tributes at all. The 2 boss fights are on on Genesis and Genesis Part 2. For Genesis Part 1, you just need to get half of the missions, and you'll be able to do Alpha. On Genesis Part 2, if you want to get Alpha boss fight done, you have to do Alpha boss fight, or Alpha missions. And you gotta get most of them done. And I mean most. There's maybe... I think you just have to maybe do all of them except for 2 of them. I think it's just 2. I think you gotta do all but 2. And then you'll be able to do Rockwell boss fight. Now, doing the boss fight over there, you had to go inside the cave, get to a certain spot, and do the boss fight there. But since since Ark Survival Ascendant came out, that might be changing. It might be saying, hey, you can use the transmitter to do the boss fights, because now you can actually just use the transmitter and do the boss fights at your base. And you don't have to worry to go take them all the way to the op and do that. But since you gotta go all the way through the tech cave to do the Overseer, they might actually have that on Genesis Part 1. They might. Or Genesis Part 2, I mean. Genesis Part 1, you could just do it in your inventory on the mission logs. And it's only if you got half of the freaking missions done, which, as well as you have to get the fish boss fight done as well. You actually have to get the fish boss fight done in order to get close enough to actually do it. those boss fights are annoying. I've done Master Controller. I've not done the fish. I didn't feel comfortable to doing the fish. I don't feel comfortable doing it underwater, especially on Genesis Part One. Especially since on the old Ark, crashed so much. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this actually was informative. I hope this video or stream slash stream helped to get you guys to get ready to do the boss fights. Hope you guys have fun. Have a wonderful day. Game on. Have fun with friends and family. We'll see you guys next time. And as always, well, that's as always as I say. Peace, y'all. Have a good day.